Honorable colleagues, can we look at the agenda quickly for Friday, 1st August 2025 and adopt it? It has been moved and seconded that we adopt the agenda. Thank you so much. Good morning, Mr. TABALLY. Just to remind you, you are still under oath.
Yes.
We will continue from where we stopped yesterday.
Thank you.
With counsel. Can you proceed from where we stopped? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Chair. Good morning, Justice TABALLY.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Before we proceed to your testimony, I would just like to remind you that you're still under oath.
Yes.
All right. So yesterday, before the hearing was adjourned, we were talking about, we stopped discussions at the point of sale, receipts. We talked about the handwritten notes and then the documents that the Office of the Sheriff would usually prepare after a sale of every item to hand over to a buyer. Yes. Or a bidder, being the return of sale. The document called the return of sale.
Yes.
Yes. So let's go back to Kanilai.
Yes.
Let's go back to the days you were present at the sale. And also then we would eventually also go to Parato and Banjolinde. After the sales was concluded, or even after every livestock was sold, you've stated that you sold some animals in herds as a group.
Yes.
We will get to that, but let's just complete this return of these documentation issues, and then we can go back to what the reasoning of the Office of the Sheriff was for selling the cattle in herds. Did the Office of the Sheriff prepare return of sale documents for the livestock it sold in Kanilai?
The returns were all done at once, including incorporating Kanilai, Farato, and Banjolinde. That is the one I compiled and resulting to this report that I submitted to the Ministry of Justice or Attorney General's office. It was not done in separately.
Yesterday,
yes,
you told us that whenever an item is sold by the Office of the Sheriff,
yes,
a return of sale is prepared.
Yes.
The current sheriff, who testified yesterday morning, also stated that whenever an item is sold, a return of sale is prepared for that item or for that buyer. And he went on to say that where a particular buyer buys more than one item from one sale, all the items they bought would be listed in the return of sale, and then that each buyer, if they buy 10, 15 items, they're going to have one return of sale and all the items will be placed on it. So now, and he said that each time a return of sale is prepared, one is given to the buyer because that is what they would use to effect payment.
Yes.
And another one is kept for the file of the sheriff.
Yes.
So now, I'm a bit confused if you say that all the return of sale was done at once and you prepared a report to, or you forwarded this to the Attorney General. Weren't you supposed to prepare a return of sale for every single buyer and then keep a copy for the file?
In an ideal conventional sheriff sale, that is, but we are treating this as one single case. And like I said before, we are, I don't know whether I mentioned this, but we were not able to keep records of list of buyers. When I came in, what that we had is the return, sorry, the amount received and the number of cattle sold from each farm. Not necessarily an individual buyer buys this, there was no record of that. So I compiled that, and from that I prepared this report return to submit to both this Office of the Chief Justice and the Attorney General.
You did not issue receipts. You did not prepare a return of sale for every item sold. You also did not even try to identify properly how these buyers were going to, or give these buyers any form of proper documentation so that they can move with the livestock that they bought. How did you prepare your report then?
We had, like I said before, we had given them notes to facilitate transportation.
Handwritten notes.
Handwritten notes, where the number of cattle is indicated as well as the amount paid. So there is already also copies of those papers, handwritten notes are not in duplicates. They were only one when I came in. So we compiled, there was a list where all these numbers are listed from each farm and the amount total. So this is what I compiled to prepare this report.
You said there was a list of the cattle sold from each farm.
Yes.
Okay. And that is what you used to compile
the report that I submitted.
If there was no proper documentation kept by the bailiff and all the other employees of the Office of the Sheriff present at the ground, how were you able to verify that what you were being told, or this list that you're referring to, is actually accurate? How were you able to verify this?
Like I said, I was not on the ground in both.
Yes, you were not on the ground, but you were the sheriff who the court appointed to conduct the sale, and eventually you would have had to prepare a report, which you did. Yeah. How were you able to verify what was in your report? Verify the figures you were working with to be able to
I rely on the figures that were submitted to me and the amounts that were submitted to me.
Who submitted these figures and amounts to you?
The bailiffs on the ground. And the one in Kanila that I was present, I verified it in them.
Okay, let's go to Farato.
Yeah.
How were you able to, you are not in Farato, how were you able to verify what was sold in Farato?
I said I did not verify, but I rely on what they submitted to me, and that's why I could not have verified, because it means I have to go back again and then count the number. I was not able, because now I was.
You would not even be able to go back to count the number because the cattle was already sold.
Yeah.
So why is it that you did not take enough measures to ensure or be certain at the point of preparing a report for the sales that you would know how much cattle was sold, how many cattle was sold, and how much each one was sold for?
Like I said before, this is an exceptional and a unique auction sale that the sheriff conducted.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Is this really an exceptional sale? Is it really? It's just another sale that the sheriff is supposed to conduct. And if the sheriff had followed the order of the High Court to the letter, then there would have been no room for mistakes or anything. If the Office of the Sheriff had contacted the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency, just like the High Court ordered on the 3rd of January 2018, then all the situation you are saying wouldn't have been wouldn't have happened. All these problems wouldn't have arose.
I agree entirely.
So now, please explain to the committee in Farato and in Banjolinding how you were able to verify and complete your report or compile your report for that.
The number of the list of cattle in each of these farms that were submitted me and the amount, total global amount that was submitted me, I relied on that to compile the final report return. That's all I was able to verify, because I believe other stakeholders, were, including the Ministry of Justice, were represented, and it was in a transparent and open space. So whatever is presented to me, that's what I relied on to prepare the result return.
How were these figures and total sums presented to you?
In the form of a handwritten note, because we did not have any specific stationery for documenting this.
You did not have stationery, or you did not bother to use official stationery?
We only carried a plain sheet of papers to the ground, that's all.
Is this what the Office of the Sheriff during your time was in the habit of doing? Every sale they go to, they just take a piece of plain white paper and then just cut and write small notes and give to buyers?
Like I said yesterday, in a normal sale like landed properties, after the sale is conducted on the ground, they would come and prepare a return.
Yes, because you cannot move the land.
Yeah.
And now I'm talking about movable property.
Movable property.
The sheriff usually sell furniture or cars, vehicles. So what happens in these situations? Will the sheriff also give out handwritten notes?
Where the properties were attached and sheriff took custody of them, we would have listed all the items. Well, in this case, it was not done because we did not attach and not take into our custody, which I admit ordinarily we should have relied on the Gambia livestock marketing agents.
So in essence, we can say that after the High Court delivered its order on the 3rd of January 2018 and stated that the Office of the Sheriff should conduct sale of the livestock in these 3 farms, there's absolutely nothing that the Office of the Sheriff did properly according to the order of the court, or even to the basic standards and procedures that the Office of the Sheriff would normally use. There's nothing that the Office of the Sheriff did that was proper. You'll agree with me?
Yes, I will.
That is very unfortunate, Justice Tabally.
Yes, regrettable, yeah. Yes.
And now, this is causing me to now think, and not just think, we will see in a bit why I'm saying what I'm going to say right now, is that essentially the Office of the Sheriff made the government of the Gambia face economic loss when it came to the sale. The sale was not conducted properly. There was no valuation that was conducted before the sale, so that the Office of the Sheriff would have a basis or a basic figure to start its auctions for, relied on a private individual that the Office of the Sheriff did not even try to verify who brought this individual to the sale ground. And the Office of the Sheriff just went and disposed of the property or the livestock in whatever way it wanted, and then just proceeded to gather some sums and then open a bank account and put it in there. Now it's actually looking like the only thing the Office of the Sheriff did right, according to that order delivered by the High Court, is opening the bank account and putting in the money.
I wouldn't say that. There were mistakes along the way, I know.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Mistakes even before the sale started.
Yes.
The first mistake being the sheriff never read the order of the High Court that said the office of the sheriff should conduct the sale.
Yes.
That is where everything fell apart. Yes. It's like everything fell apart before it even commenced.
That's the foundation of the. Okay.
And the only thing right was opening the account. Now that's what it seems, isn't it?
I wouldn't say that's the only thing.
Okay, what else was done properly? You don't know?
I can't remember all right, but...
It's fine. I believe the Secretariat has placed a copy of your statement before you.
Yes.
You have it there?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to paragraph 8. And paragraph 18 of your statement.
Yes.
Before we go to paragraph 18, let's deal with paragraph 8 first, and then we move. I'll read out paragraph 8 for you. I was never privy to the purported valuation report by Gilmer, and when I heard of it recently, I confronted Mr. Jallo about it, and he said he is also not aware of it. When did you learn about this said purported valuation report by Gilmer?
One investigative reporter tried to contact me, and then he wanted me to grant him an interview.
Sorry, when investigative reporter?
A reporter.
A journalist?
A journalist.
Okay.
So he said he wanted to send me, he called me, I did not answer to the call. He sent me text. So I said, if it is concerns about this particular sales, refer to the office of the sheriff. I'm no longer sheriff, and I cannot grant you an interview without approval from the office of the Chief Justice. So he started sending me text messages referring to this a report by Gilmer. That is how I learned about it, from that text. Then along the way, then I saw in the media that there was a valuation report and so forth. That's how I learned about it, but I was not aware of it before, prior to that.
Okay, when did this journalist contact you?
It must have been around February last year or something like that.
Okay. So
I stand to be correct. I'm not.
Okay,
yeah.
no, it's fine.
But sometime last year anyway.
All right. So you said when you learned about this, you confronted Mr. Jallo. Here, yeah. Mr. Jallo, you mean Mr. Aliu Jallo?
Aliu Jallo, yeah.
All right. The former Registrar General.
Yes.
Why did you confront Mr. Aliu Jallo about this report?
Basically, just to verify whether there was a valuation report would have guided us in the valuation itself. That's why I said, because you facilitated our movement and the like to conduct this sale. So were you privy to any evaluation report that would have served us as a guide in the first place? So he said no, he's equally not aware of it.
Okay, so all Mr. Jallo told you was that he was not aware.
No, he also heard about it, but he was not privy to this.
He was not aware that, so he heard there was a report,
yeah,
but he never also saw the report before the sale.
Yeah.
This could have been avoided if Gilmer was contacted by the office of the
sheriff. Yes, I agree.
Okay. Yesterday we talked about Mr. Amadou Kora.
Yes.
In paragraph 6, you stated that, actually let me just read it out. I joined the team on the 4th day of the sale and found one Mr. Amadou Kora, Mr. Kora was the one on the ground who was assisting to determine the value of the cattle for the purpose of sale, and I believe he was there at the instance of the Ministry of Justice.
Yeah.
In paragraph 18, you've also stated that as per the court order, when I saw Mr. Kora on the ground, I thought he was there at the instance of Gilmer.
Yes.
As per the order. So you stated yesterday you did not know, or you did not read the order, but somehow you also knew that the order mentioned Mr. Kora, and you could not determine whether he was from Gilmer or, that the order mentioned Gilmer, the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency.
Yeah.
And here you have these two conflicting paragraphs. One saying you thought Mr. Kora was from Gilmer, the other one saying that you thought Mr. Kora was invited at the instance of the Ministry of Justice.
Now, maybe there is.
Which is which?
No, Ministry of Justice. I thought they were partnering, or they were there. They were there at the as the applicant. At the same time, if Gilmer, I would have assumed that if Mr. Kora was coming from Gilmer, he would have been on the side of coming at the instance of Ministry of Justice to assist them as per the order at the time. I'm not saying that.
No, Gilmer was supposed to assist the sheriff, not
I'm saying,
Attorney General.
Yes, I know from the order now. That is what is clear to me now. Well, at the time, I thought maybe because Mr. Kora was there close to Mr. Jallo on the ground. So I did not verify, but I assume at the same time, he was either from, he came from Gilmer or working together with Mr. Aliu Jallo at the instance of the applicant.
All right. So you mentioned earlier, let's just clear this and move forward. You also mentioned earlier that in Farato you relied on the bailiffs for the figures. Was that the same thing you did in Banjul and Ding as well?
Yes.
All right. How soon after the sale did you prepare the report?
I have to go back to my report itself again. This report was dated the 26th of March 2018.
So the sales took place in January.
In January.
And you did not write the reports until about 2 months later.
Yes.
Is that the procedure the Office of the Sheriff follows? Prepare reports of sale 2 months after the sale has been conducted?
Not in all cases, but this because we are reporting to the Ministry of Justice on behalf of the Commission. So when the then Solicitor General requested for me to present a report to him, for me to also forward this to the Commission, that is the time I prepared this report.
So you waited for Minister of Justice to ask for a report?
I have compiled everything, but I did not do the final report as this one before, prior to that.
Why did you report to the Ministry of Justice? After a sale is conducted by the Office of the Sheriff, a report is supposed to be prepared and kept by the Sheriff, isn't it?
Yes.
So why was this report sent to the ministry?
The then Solicitor General requested me to send him the report of this for him to forward it to the Commission.
When did the Solicitor General make this request?
I think it's few days before this particular date, 2 days or a day or prior to this date.
Is that normal that a party to a suit would wait a few months after the suit, after a sale has been conducted to request for the sheriff to prepare a report?
No, not in return and reports are different.
I'm talking about a report.
Yeah.
You said you prepared a report and sent to the Solicitor General when you did not even prepare a report at all, so you had bits and bobs somewhere in your office. So when the Solicitor General requested for a report, you prepared a report and sent to him. Why was this something that the Office of the Sheriff needed to do?
This is unusual because I can't remember how many times I have to do a report. Not in all sales that I have to do a report. Okay. I rely on the return of these bailiffs and place them in the file. I personally, I can't remember I have even authored a report except in this case.
All right, because ordinarily the sheriff is not the one that's supposed to prepare a report of sale, isn't it?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Normally, after a sale is conducted, a report has to be prepared.
A return by the...
A report, not a return. A return or a report?
Yes.
Okay, let's say a return has to be prepared,
yes,
but not by the sheriff.
Not by the sheriff.
Who should ordinarily prepare the return?
In this case, the bailiffs on the ground.
Or the bailiffs are the ones that are supposed to.
Yes.
So.
But for the fact that I was also present, maybe that's why none of them
did not involve the bailiffs.
Yeah.
But also, we can say that you only relied, there was no return, basically.
No.
There was no return, you only issued handwritten notes, which you did not even keep a copy of in the first 3 days of the sale. So we can say here that eventually the report that was prepared and submitted to the Solicitor General, who then forwarded to the Commission of Inquiry, is actually not accurate.
I wouldn't say it is not accurate.
How are you certain that the report was accurate? The final figures, because here your report says a total number of cattle sold. Let me just read it out for the record. The total number of cattle sold in Kanilai was 625, in Farato 67, and in Banjolinding 32. You were not present in Banjolinding. You were not present in Farato. Yes. You were not present on the first day of sales at Kanilai. Yes. So how certain are you that the report that was this report that you sent to the Solicitor General is actually accurate? You don't have the means to verify it.
Yes, I know.
Because there is no record to verify it.
Yes.
So it's not accurate.
If you say it is not accurate,
no, it is not accurate, isn't it?
Okay, I accept.
Okay. The Commission had prepared an order that preceded the order of 3rd January 2018. And this order by the Commission is one of the instruments that give rise to this whole transaction. Have you ever seen a copy of that order?
I have never.
Didn't the Commission forward a copy of that order to in some way deals with the livestock?
No, I rely basically on, like I said, the function of the sheriff is to enforce orders of court. So in this case, I am not aware that the Commission had issued any order or it was never presented to me as sheriff.
After the sales, and even before the request from the Solicitor General came to you, was the report prepared and submitted perhaps to the Chief Justice, or maybe even to the court that delivered the order?
No, we don't ordinarily report back to the court.
Okay, but you know you've been saying this is a unusual circumstance.
Yes.
The unusualness of the whole circumstance did not involve preparing a report for the Chief Justice or even for the High Court.
I can't remember whether I presented a report to the Chief Justice or then overseer of the Sheriff's Office.
Okay. The order of the court states that a bank account, interest-generating bank account,
Yes.
was to be opened and all the proceeds of sale deposited in that account.
Yes.
When was this account opened?
I can't remember, but I recall when the bailiffs called after the first day that they need to have, because at the time the sheriff does not operate an interest-bearing account in any of the commercial banks.
Okay.
So I was called to come forward. I went to the bank with a view to open an account, but they said it needs to be, I have to have a co-signatory as sheriff. So I collected a form, and the then JS, we filled the form together. It took about a day or two before we can actually open the account. Temporarily, the bank accepted to make accept the deposits into a temporary account, pending the formal listing of the main account.
So the bank account was not even opened before the sales took place?
No, it was not opened before the sales took place.
It was opened after the sales?
Yeah.
So where was the money kept? The money that the bailiffs were collecting on the ground, where was it kept?
The bailiffs on the ground, I recall, they had a kind of a safe that they kept with them.
On the ground?
On the ground.
They took a safe?
It's not a safe, it's just a kind of a suitcase.
Okay.
An iron suitcase, which had it was in the office of the sheriff, where previously I found it there. They used to keep monies there before they have a safe. So this is what they carried on the ground, and then they carry it, the monies that are, payments that are deposited, paid there, to the office of the sheriff a few days before the opening of the account. I agree that you should have opened an account prior to the sale.
So you're saying that the sale was conducted and millions were kept in a suitcase and left in the office of the sheriff?
I'm not sure whether it has.
You're not sure whether it had millions?
Millions at the time before the opening of the account. I'm not sure.
We said the account was opened after the sale.
Yes.
Oh.
Not. It's during the time of during the sales process. It was open, not before the commencement of the sale. I mean.
You mean before the ending of the sale?
Before the ending of the sale.
Okay. So maybe a few days after the sales commenced, the account was open.
Open, yeah.
By the way, how many days did the sale take?
I can't remember. In Kanilai.
How many days did it take in Kanilai?
Kanilai would have been, I think, 3 or 4 days, but it's an intermittent period.
So it was not consecutive?
No, it was not consecutive.
But how many days did you attend the sales in Kanilai?
Must have been 3 days, I believe.
3 days.
Yeah.
And on the third day, it was concluded?
Concluded, yes. We were made to believe that we would go back, but subsequently there was no.
What do you mean we were made to believe that we would go back?
Yes, because at the time when we were on the third day, when we finished, we were made to believe that there are still some cattle out grazing, and the army officers in charge had asked us to allow them time to find those cattle, because our sale was depending on them finding those cattle before we can go and then conduct the sale. That's why it was not consecutive days.
So there were gaps in the days the sale took place in Kanilai, because the officials on the ground there would tell you we will find cattle.
Yeah,
so when they find cattle, they tell you and you go.
Yeah. This is because we don't have a record of how many cattle are there in the first place.
Which, if you had conducted a valuation exercise, you would have.
Yes, we would have. Yes, I agree.
That's a very serious matter, isn't it? That you relied on the army officials on the ground to tell you whether there's cattle available or not for you to go do a sale. And on the fourth day in Kanilai, when you were leaving, all the cattle had been sold. All the cattle on the ground.
The ones that were found.
All of them. So when we can say that when the team was leaving Kanilai on the fourth day, there was no single cattle left in Kanilai, as far as you could tell.
Just as far as I can tell you.
Okay, so, but the army had told you there's more cattle, we just have to find it.
Yes.
Did you ever go back?
After
the conclusion of sale on that day, did you ever go back to Kanilai to see whether the army had found other cattle?
On my own, no, I didn't.
Did you send your team?
No.
Did you report this to the court?
No, I did not.
Did you report this to the Chief Justice?
No.
You also did not inform the applicant?
Who? The applicant?
That we were told by the soldiers on the ground that there are cattle that went for grazing, and if they are found, we will be called and to come and conduct sale again.
The applicant represented at the time by Mr. Jallo.
Okay.
Yeah. He was aware. He is aware. In fact, he coordinates this with the army. I have no contact with the officials on the ground.
So for you, when you go and you don't speak to these officials, you just stand by the side and watch the actions, the sale being conducted by the bailiff.
I was present
I
was present on one or two occasions when they were talking.
Okay, to the officials.
Yeah, to the
okay,
officials.
What was the conversation about?
The conversation was that we still need time to go and look around, because it's a big yard.
Because it is?
A big yard.
Okay.
They require normally a vehicle to go around the yard to look for the cattle.
All right. Let's take a look at paragraph 11 of your statement. It says the order of Justice Jawo didn't contain the number of cattle to be sold, but 725 in total were sold, most of which were calves.
Yes.
How did you verify that most of the cattle there were calves?
The ones that I saw in particular in Kanilai, that's why that necessitated the group sale, because you cannot sell a cow and then left out a calf.
Can you explain this group sale issue to the committee? How did you arrive at that, and what do you determine as a group sale, and how many of these cows and calves were in a group?
You mean as to numbers?
Yes.
I can't remember because it's almost 8 years ago now, but I remember in some instances they were up to 6 or 5 calves in addition to maybe 1 bull, 3 bull, or 4 cows together. And a particular breeder would.
So you did not attach a calf to a mother, yes, but you were attaching cows, 4 or 5 cows to 1 cow, 4 or 5 cows to 1 bull.
Yes. Not one bull. We were trying to identify which one group belong to each particular group, and then we'll identify and sell it in that order.
Did you verify whether these calves you're talking about were suckling or not?
I did not verify that. I have little experience in
exactly.
Yes, I did.
And the livestock marketing agency was supposed to save you from all of this.
Exactly, yeah.
But you did not reach out to them.
Yes, I agree. That is fine.
I'm going to refer you to a document. Honorable Chair, I'm referring the witness to MOJ 8FE. Let me verify. It's supposed to be an attachment of MOJ 8FE. Sorry, it's MOJ 8F3. F3. The first page is a memo. That's not the document I'm referring the witness to. Actually, sorry, it's 8F4. 8F4, second, it starts from the second page. Second page of 8F4. It's a long document, and can the Secretariat please provide the witness with a copy of this document?
Council?
Yes, Honorable Chair. Has the committee been able to find this document?
Yes, 84, yes, we are able to.
Okay, all right. Honorable Chair, this is it's quite a long document, so can we give the witness at least 2 minutes to be able to turn and look at all the other pages before? Okay.
Yes.
Justice Tabali, are you done with the report? You've taken a look.
Yes, I have.
Okay. Still on paragraph 7, you stated that most of the cattle were cows. The report you're looking at is an inventory of the cattle in Kanilai and the cattle in Farato.
Yes.
And I will not burden you to count the number of cows, bulls, and cows in that report. But I'll let you know that the number of cows were 175, the number of bulls were 153, and the number of cows are 289. So therefore, there is no way you found more cows than cows and bulls in Kanilai or in the total sales in all these farms. There is no way that there were more cows than cows, because this report says otherwise. There's a report here, but you don't have a report.
I don't have it.
So you cannot even be 100% certain that there were more cows than cows. Are you?
It's just my own estimation at the time. I'm not quite, I cannot be sure. Like what I have seen now, if I was privy to this, I would have been able to verify at the time.
So by estimation, we can say you are not certain. You were not certain.
I was not certain.
Okay. Let's move on to paragraph 12. Yes, paragraph 12 of the witness's statement. I'll just read out the first sentence of that paragraph, and it states, in my presence, I noticed that some cattle were not healthy and a few died in my presence. Let's talk about, before we talk about the ones that died in your presence, let's talk about the ones that were not healthy. You just stated that you don't have the expertise or the capacity to be able to tell much about a cow. For example, when I asked you about the suckling, you said you could not tell because you don't have the capacity. So how do you now have the capacity to determine whether a cow is healthy or not?
What I mean here is they were not properly fed and they were very weak. I did not, I used the word healthy, but I should have said they were not properly fed. I could not say because, like you said, I am not an expert to know whether they were healthy or not, but they were not properly fed. That's what I meant to say.
So explain what you mean they were not properly fed.
They were weak, very weak. They said they lack proper care or they did not have any feeding at the time.
They were weak. Were they not able to stand at all?
Like I said, the one that I saw, we died in my presence.
How many died? You said a few died in my presence. How many died?
I recall vividly three in my presence.
So whilst the sale was being conducted,
yes,
3 cows just died?
One died, not the same day.
Okay, so in different days a cow would die?
Yeah.
Just like that?
My attention was called to a cow has fallen out there.
Okay.
Yeah, and we went there, we found it, and it has died.
And how were you able to verify that, because you said the cows are weak, maybe the cow was too weak to stand and collapse, so how were you able to verify that the cow was dead? And what happened to the carcass?
We did not take any record of the carcass. We just focused on the one that we are able to sell. That's
so
all.
You left the carcass lying?
Yes.
But you did not invite a vet or anyone to just come and look at any professional to take a look at the cows that died?
No, we did not. I did not.
Okay. As we're talking about paragraph 12, we already talked about the selling in herds.
Yeah.
But I just have one question with regards to this. Who determined that the cows should be sold in herds? Was it you, the sheriff? Was it the bailiffs? Who determined that?
No,
to use that style?
Like I said, none of us had expertise in cattle. It was this Mr. Cora together along with Mr. Jallo who would advise us it's better to sell this in groups or herds.
Okay, and you accepted this?
Yes.
There's a part in paragraph 12. Let me just read the remainder of the paragraph. It says some of the cattle were sold in herds and it was an open tender and we were assisted by an army officer who was in charge of the herds. And the sale was done in intervals as the officer will require time to gather the cattle. We consider this to be a duty of the state.
Yeah.
Please clarify why you are saying that this is a duty of the state, when in fact the whole entire process of selling these livestock was actually a duty of the office of the sheriff.
Yes.
And should have been assisted by the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency when it came to valuation. Yes. So why is the state being mentioned here and saying that it was their duty?
The reason why I said that is because we are, although it's part of the mandate of the sheriff to conduct a sale of this nature, but at the same time we had at the back of our mind we are trying to conduct
Sorry, it was, not only was it a mandate of the sheriff,
yeah.
The court had ordered it,
yes,
taking away the duty and responsibility from the state and handed it over to the sheriff. So please explain.
I mean, it is, we are carrying out this in the interest of the state as well, because the state is the applicant here. That's what I want to say.
So therefore, it was the state that was supposed to gather the animals?
No.
Because in a sense, that is what you're saying here in paragraph 12.
It might imply that it's what but I don't mean to say that. I'm only saying that we are carrying out these functions as a sheriff, or at the same time at the behest of the state. That's what I meant.
So what do you mean exactly? Yes, the state is the one that made an application to the High Court, but that everything with regards to the sale was taken and handed over to the sheriff by the High Court. Yeah. So therefore, the state had no duty here. They were not. The court did not place any responsibility or duties on the state for them to carry out.
No. Maybe the use of the word, but what I mean is, we consider this a national duty on all of us, not only as a sheriff, but also as citizens. We are carrying out this duty on behalf of the state, so we should do it to the best of our ability.
Let's look at paragraph 13. We had earlier talked about values. Today we also talked about the valuation. Sorry, we've spoken about the valuation today, earlier, and also yesterday.
Yes.
Let's talk about the SIS and the involvement in this sale.
Yes.
Why was the SIS involved in the sale process when the court did not state that the SIS should be part of the sale?
Certainly, the sheriff did not invite the SIS officers. At the time, I did not verify, but I thought maybe that they were part of the task force at the instance of the state to witness and confirm what is being taking place on the ground.
By task force, which task force are you referring to?
Task force that was set up at the Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were other members of the task force present at the sale?
I don't know all the task force members.
All right, okay. So here in your statement, in paragraph 13, you stated the SIS officer was involved in assisting in trying to control and assist the bailiff in carrying the cash deposit. You're saying you did not verify whether this individuals, even from the SIS, well, they were helping the office of the sheriff.
Not to handle the cash.
Handle cash. This is what you're saying in your statement. In trying to control and assist the bailiff in carrying the cash deposit.
Not necessarily to physically carry the cash, but you're trying, just to help the bailiff control, because the place was crowded, and it was this thing. Like I said yesterday, there were so many people around, so we were trying to control the crowd to assist the bailiff to able to effectively receive these payments without hindrance. That's what I want to say there.
Does the office of the sheriff require the presence of an intelligence officer from the SIS at the point of sale whenever it's conducting sale?
No, never.
Okay, so why was you stated that you don't know at whose instance?
Yes.
The SIS was there.
Yes.
Sorry, you stated that you actually thought the SI was there because they are part of the task force.
Yes.
Okay, but then why would you allow them to even sort of help the bailiff in any way with the cash?
Like I said, this is an unusual sale that the sheriff has never conducted of this magnitude.
So an unusual sale happened, so therefore unusual actions were taken.
Yeah.
All right. Let's now go to paragraph 14 of your statement. Also, maybe you can take a look at the bank or the statement of account that you've submitted to this committee.
Yes.
Honorable Chair, it is marked SBT 6. Yes, Honorable Chair. It's a statement of account from Trust on the letterhead of the Trust Bank Limited.
Although it's not very clear, but we'll be able to follow.
Yes.
Yes, I have it.
You stated in paragraph 14 that the normal practice for the office of the sheriff was for the buyer, or let's say the highest bidder, to make payments to an account at Central Bank,
Yes.
or they'll be escorted to effect payment into the said account.
Yes.
But of course, this was different because the court had specifically ordered that the proceeds of sale should be deposited into the account, into an interest generating account,
Yes.
which was not even opened before the sale took place. Let's take a look at the bank statement. Let's take a look at the first deposit. The first deposit was made on the 12th day of January 2018. It's a cash deposit by CD Fati, and the amount deposited was $1,024,000.
Yes.
Cash deposit. Who's Mr. CD Fati?
He was the deputy sheriff.
He was a deputy sheriff at the time.
Yes. He's still the deputy sheriff.
He's still the deputy sheriff.
Administration, yeah.
Administration.
Yes.
Didn't you say that the money was collected at the point of sale by the bailiffs? So why was the deputy sheriff making deposits into this account?
He was among the bailiffs who were equally...
Is the deputy sheriff a bailiff?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not a bailiff.
Okay.
But he was also on the ground and receiving payments as well.
So we can say it was not only just the bailiffs that were receiving payments.
Yes.
There were other people receiving payments.
Yeah. Yes.
And this included the deputy sheriff.
Deputy sheriff, yeah.
All right. The second deposit was made on the 13th of January 2018 by Modu Musa Sise, and it's a cash deposit of $3.1 million.
Yes.
From the dates, before we move forward, from the dates of this statement, you still can't remember when the first day of sale was, the date of the first day of sale?
I think it's contained in my report. The sale commenced on the 9th as per this report.
On the 9th.
Yeah.
So the sale commenced on the 9th, and then it took 3 days before the office of the sheriff deposited money.
Yes.
All right.
Because we have to follow.
The third deposit was in this account was done by Mr. Sidi Fati again.
Yes.
And this was a sum of $2,565,000, 18th of January.
Yes.
Sorry, the first few days of sale, was it consecutive? Like so you're saying first day of sale was the 9th. Second day of sale, can we say it was the 10th?
Yes.
Okay. Third day of sale?
I can't be sure exactly because the third day of sale, I think, was in Kanilai.
Okay.
Yes.
But you were not there?
I was not.
You were there on the fourth day?
Fourth day, yeah.
On the fourth day of sale, and when was the fourth day of sale? Can you remember the date?
I can't remember the date.
Okay. All right. So we'll say that the first day of sale was on the 9th.
Yes.
This was Tuesday, by the way.
Okay.
Okay?
I know.
Tuesday, 9th January 2018, a working day. The money was not deposited into this account until 3 days later, Friday. The second day, the second time a deposit was made into this account was the 13th. So, do you remember when the last day of sale was?
'31st of January.
31st of January.
Yes.
Was the last day of sale.
Yes.
Let's continue. The last day of sale, 31st January, a cash deposit of $297,000 was done on the 31st of January by Modu Musa Sisi.
Yes.
So the sales ended on Wednesday.
I don't know what date.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Okay.
That the 31st of January in 2018 was on a Wednesday.
Okay.
On 2nd February 2018, an amount of 33,000 was deposited into the account by check. This deposit was done by Modu Musa MCC. Again, on the 2nd as well, another check of $45,000 by Modu Musa CC.
Yes.
On the 5th of February 2018, sorry, not the 5th. So Modu Musa deposited money into the account twice on the 2nd of February 2018.
Yes.
By check, EcoBank check.
Mm-hmm.
On the 5th of March, more than a month after the sales has been completed, Modu Musa deposited cash amount of 198,000. Were you aware or were you ever informed about these transactions? You can take a look at the statement.
Yes, I've seen it on the 5th of March.
Yes, on the 5th of March, Modu Musa deposited 198,000. This is more than a month after the sales were completed.
Yes.
Do you know why this sum was deposited into the account at that point?
I can't remember vividly, but I know in one or two instances where there were issues with the checks that was issued to us as payment. So we had to locate the buyers to return the check to them and then for them to effect payment subsequently. So I don't know whether this is one of the instances where it involves one or two people, I think, or buyers.
Okay, so you're telling the committee that even payments being made on the ground were not even verified, especially for checks. You handed over the livestock without being certain that those checks you were receiving on the sale ground will not bounce back.
We rely on the, I remember one of the buyers, I spoke to him. I knew him previously. So because there was, I resisted at first when he first came on the first day that he offered to pay by check. So he came this second day. He paid, there was a balance that he was supposed to pay. So the person that he sent in to collect the cows, the amount that he gave, I think there was a shortfall. So he made up with a check. What is unusual for the sheriff to accept check payment from anybody? We still, notwithstanding, even if the buyer is unable to pay, we still have the right to go after him, to pursue him to collect the, even in the ordinary sheriff sale.
But isn't that just adding so much stress to the work, accepting a check?
Yes,
Wasn't it just best to direct the buyer to the bank, let them go pay, the bank gives them the deposit slip, and then you come and give them?
Yeah, that is the ideal.
All right. Yeah. So after every deposit was made by CD and Modu Musa, did they submit a copy of the, or even not a copy, but the slip that the bank would issue to an individual or a customer and they make a deposit? Then they submit those slips to you?
I believe they have been issued with deposit slips, but I can't be sure about the whereabouts of those things because we requested statement from the bank thereafter.
So you did not make it a requirement after they deposited millions into an account to submit these slips after every transaction that they do? You did not make that a requirement for them?
No.
Okay. The checks that the bidders issued to the Office of the Sheriff, did the Office of the Sheriff at least photocopy those checks and keep a record of it in the file?
No, I cannot be sure that we have done that.
Why not?
Because that was not, I can't remember where we need to do that. We are only concerned with the actual payment. Is
the Office of the Sheriff not concerned with transparency, accountability, and just keeping records for the memory of the office for subsequent individuals that will be occupying that office? Was that not something that interested you, to be transparent and accountable and just keep records?
Yes, when I assumed office, regrettably this office has been in chaos and there was lots of issues there. I regret to say this.
Okay.
Monies have gone missing there. So I want to believe what my...
You're confident?
Yeah, what my belief. I'm not saying I'm confident, but I want to believe what is presented to me as accurate.
So therefore we can conclude that the Office of the Sheriff does not do very well when it comes to keeping records and files?
Unfortunately, no, at the time.
Did you remedy the situation by the time you were leaving the office? Or did you also just manage with the chaos?
We try our best to remedy the situation.
But you did not remedy the situation?
One of these is our main concern was handling of cash, which we try to shift to the accounts department, and even payments due to people. Ordinarily, before I assume office, beneficiaries were receiving cash from the sheriff's accounts clerk. But during my time, we tried to remedy all that, and then to the point that you can only be issued checks or bank transfers.
Very well. Is that, so we can say that the reason so many important records are missing from this file is that the Office of the Sheriff did not keep good records.
Mm-hmm. Some of the practicing counsels can attest to that. They have that experience.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's move on so that we would not spend the entire day here today again. Let's talk about the bank account.
Yes.
The closing balance of the account is $8,302,970.
Yes.
The court, in its order, you can take a look, of 3rd January 2018, it states that the Office of the Sheriff should deposit proceeds of sale in an interest-bearing account pending the conclusion of the commission.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the Office of the Sheriff, again, did not adhere to that part of the court's order completely. Yes, it opened an account, but they did not keep the account, they did not keep the proceeds of sale in the account until the conclusion of the commission. Isn't it?
Of course, I remember.
Take a look at the order. Take a look at the order.
Yes.
Sorry, paragraph 3, just to direct you, I'll read it out. The Honorable Sheriff of the Gambia is ordered to conduct sale and all proceeds of the sale to be kept by the Honorable Sheriff in an interest-bearing account pending conclusion of the Commission of Inquiry or further orders of the court.
Yes.
Were the proceeds of sale kept in this bank account or trust bank until the conclusion of the Commission's work?
The proceeds were kept there until I exited the office of the sheriff.
When did you exit the office of the sheriff?
2019.
2019?
Yes.
The amount, the total sum was in this account?
It was in this account.
Who else was a signatory to this account?
The then JS Judicial Secretary, now Justice Landin Sane.
Okay. So after you left, look at paragraph, the second to last paragraph of your statement. Paragraph 19. After my appointment as a judge, I was approached by Mr. Binga for the details of the account which I provided to him.
Yes.
Why did you provide the details of this account to Mr. Binga?
I recall when I was master up to 2022, I have been receiving alerts on the accruing interest on the account on my text messages. And I am approached even the then the Judicial Secretary, to protest that I should exit as a co-signatory no longer, now that I'm no longer the sheriff. So I think a letter was even written to that effect to the bank to effect changes of signatories to the account. But I don't know whether that was implemented, because up to the time I was a judge, I still received this alert. So I recall Mr. Binga called me that he said on the instruction of the Attorney General, he wanted the details of the bank account. I merely forwarded one of the text messages from the bank, the alerts forwarded to him, which have the details. Subsequently, I had an alert that the account is zero balance. I don't know how. I was not a party to that. No.
Okay, you provided the bank details to a third party.
Yes.
Somebody that the court never mentioned. The court said it is the Honorable Sheriff that should control this account.
Yes.
And then one day you receive a text alert from the bank which says the account is now empty.
Yes.
The balance is $0. Yes. What did you do when you received that text message?
I think I informed even the Judicial Secretary and even our Chief Justice as well. So as Chief Justice even, I think, he remarked that how can they withdraw without authority from us?
Okay. So you informed the Chief Justice and the JS verbally, or did you write?
Verbally.
Verbally. When was this?
This must have been end of 2024 or thereabout.
2024?
Yeah.
Are you certain of this date?
I cannot be sure, but I think around. I'm just assuming around it.
Okay, but if you look at your phone records, you'll be able to ascertain when you received
I don't have that phone anymore.
You don't have that phone anymore?
Yeah, and I'm not receiving any alerts.
Any alert? The account is empty?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you will not ordinarily receive alerts for an empty account?
Yes.
Okay, so you provided the details to Mr. Binga, and then eventually one day you received an alert of $0
Yes.
in the account.
Yes.
And you only spoke about this to the Chief Justice and...
In one of when I had cause to meet the Chief Justice and
okay,
the JS.
you brought it up?
Yeah, brought it up, yeah.
Okay, but immediately it happened to you, did not speak to anybody about it?
No.
Why? You were not concerned?
Of course I was concerned. No, I think when I received it, the day I was on my way from Brikama to a meeting in Banjul. So during the conversation, during the course of the meeting, I brought it up.
Okay. So you mentioned that when you became a judge, you were still receiving alerts about interest on the account, and since you were no longer a signatory, you spoke to the JS and eventually wrote. Who wrote this letter? Was it a letter or was it a memo?
It was a letter to the bank.
It was a letter to the bank. Who prepared this letter?
I think I was a co-signatory to the letter as well as the then co-signatory to the account. But it was prepared in the office of the Judicial Secretary, then Judicial Secretary.
So the Judicial Secretary prepared this letter and then gave you
both of us to sign.
Both signatories to sign.
Yeah, with an instruction for it to exit and be replaced by.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then who replaced the two of you?
I can't remember. I can't recall, but I think at the time the then Judicial Secretary.
Okay, and who was the Judicial Secretary at the time?
Then now Justice Aissatou Jallow C.
Okay, and who else?
I can't recall because the current Judicial Secretary was then the Sheriff, but I'm not sure whether he was a co-signatory. I cannot be sure about that.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. All right, let's take a look at your submissions. Sorry.
Yes.
Honorable Chair, I am referring the committee to the submissions of the current sheriff. It's a we've marked it yesterday as OHS 12.
Well,
yes, please. Honorable Chair, before I want to redirect the committee and the witness, before we take a look at OHS 12, can we please take a look at MOJ F3 first? But let's go to the fourth page of MOJ F3. Fourth page of MOJ 8F3. Sorry, 8F3. Fourth page. Yeah, if the Secretariat can just have the witness find MOJ 8F3 and direct him to the fourth page. F3, page 4. No, it's a table, and the document is titled Record of Sales in the Matter of the State versus Yahya AJJ Janneh Kanilai Farm. All right, the committee has found this document. Okay, so can I proceed, please? All right. It's the 4th page of 8F3. So, Justice TABALLY?
Yes.
You're taking a look at the document?
Yes.
Okay. This document shows the record of sales in Kanilai.
Yes.
And it also shows it is signed by different individuals. It says that this was recorded by Alhaji Kasama, bailiff, witnessed by Aliu Jalo, ESQ, MOJ, also witnessed by Tombong Jawo, SIS.
Yes.
It states also it was witnessed by CD Fati, Deputy Sheriff, witnessed by Modu Musa Sise, bailiff, endorsed by Sheriff B. TABALLY, Sheriff of the Gambia.
Yes.
And you all signed, it is dated 10th of January 2018.
Yes.
Who prepared this document? Or this report?
It says recorded by Alhaji Kasama.
Okay, so Alhaji Kasama prepared this.
I want to believe because it states that he prepared it. I cannot recall how it came about. But on this particular day, the date specified there, I was not available on that day.
But you endorsed the report?
Yes, I endorsed
Okay.
it, yes.
Without verification?
Yes. I endorse it, yes.
You said earlier that the sale started on the 9th of... Did you say 9th of January? Isn't it?
Yes, according to the report that I presented, is on the 9th.
Sales started on the 9th. This is saying Kanilai on the 10th. And you stated that it's the 3rd day of sales that Kanilai was started. Can you clarify?
According to my own reports, the sales, I said the sales started on the 9th. That's my recollection. But sorry, according to my reports, I don't know how this date came about here, but I was not certainly present on this particular day.
Before
The difference in date, I don't know how that came about. I don't know.
Before endorsing this report, did you try to do any verification? Because you stated that it was only handwritten notes were being issued in Kanilai. And on this 10th day of January, you are not present.
Yes.
So there was no duplicate of these handwritten notes. So when Alhaji Kasama, a bailiff working under you at the time,
Yes.
prepared this record of sales, did you try to verify how he came about these figures?
No, certainly I did not. I did not.
You did not?
Mm.
Actually, sorry, let me just clarify. It states Kanilai Farm. Here, you endorse this report. Do you maybe want to clarify whether Kanilai Farm means Kanilai itself, or were all the other farms being
I don't
being
think
referred to as Kanilai farm?
all the farms are classified as
Kanilai
Yeah,
farm.
yeah.
So we can say that this entire document, which is 5 pages, is a record of sales for all 3 farms, all 3 locations, but all just grouped as Kanilai farm.
Kanilai farms, yeah.
Okay, all right. So the first day was the 9th. Okay. Second day was the 10th. And this was signed by you on the 10th.
Yeah.
But you stated you were not available or present on the 10th. All right, let's continue. The report that you had prepared and at the request of the then Solicitor General, Mr. Chairman Marina, states that you or the Office of the Sheriff sold a total of 725 cows.
Yes, I made an arithmetical error.
Okay.
Yeah, I realized that.
When did you realize this error?
I think about a week ago or so.
So then this brings me back to my earlier statement when I said you were not certain of the figures you were giving the Solicitor General. I'm
Yes,
correct?
by this report, yes, by this error.
But
here.
from that report, the report you gave the Solicitor General is not a correct report.
Yes, by the error contained there.
All right. How did you realize this error?
Unfortunately, I calculated this, I don't know, manually at the time. I did this calculation on my own manually. I did not verify it was accurate at the time.
When you say manually, what do you mean? Can you explain that to us, to the committee?
I did not use with the aid of computer or whatever. I used manual calculation on a piece of paper on my own before arriving at this figure at the time. I'm used to that, doing that. That's the reason for the error.
Okay. Can you just state the mathematical error that you made for the committee?
If you add the figure 625
from Kanilai,
yeah,
okay,
to 67,
okay, in Farato,
and 32,
yes,
give you a total of 724.
And not 725.
Yes.
Okay. So now you're saying the Office of the Sheriff sold a total of 724 cattle.
Yes.
In all these 3 farms.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go back to this record of sales.
Yes.
I will not burden you to ask you to calculate the total amount . The total amount of the cattle sold, this report, this record of sales, was it submitted to anybody in particular? Was it attached to the report sent to the Solicitor General?
No, it was not certainly attached.
The Ministry of Justice was also summoned,
yes,
the Attorney General,
yes,
and also asked to produce documents just like you were,
yes,
and the Ministry of Justice produced this report.
yes.
You don't have it, the current sheriff does not have it, not contained in the file. The current sheriff also submitted to this committee,
Yes.
brought to this committee for inspection, but somehow the Ministry of Justice has this record of sales, and they also submitted it to the committee. And it is attached to the report that you sent to the Solicitor General.
It's attached to it.
It is. You can turn and look. You know, I had directed you to the Secretariat. Kindly help the witness find the first page of MOJ F3. Sorry, the second page of MOJ F3. Second page. Eight F3. Second page.
F3, second page. This one.
Okay. That's the report you submitted to the Solicitor General.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. And it's this record of sale is attached to the document submitted to the Solicitor General. You can see that, right? The record of sale. It was prepared. It says it was recorded by Alaji Kasama, somebody working under you, and the deputy sheriff endorsed it.
Yes.
Or the deputy sheriff witnessed and you endorsed it. But somehow you don't have this. Can we attribute this to the poor record keeping of the office of the sheriff?
Certainly, yeah.
Okay. So is it that only one copy was prepared and then that copy was given to the Solicitor General?
No, it could not have been only one copy, but it's...
How come this record of sales does not exist now at the office of the sheriff?
Like you said, it's attributed to the poor record keeping. Since I exited office, I have never had cause to go and verify any. I don't have.
Yeah, not cause to verify, but you seem surprised by this document even.
Yes. As I said before, this has been 7-8 years ago. I can't remember everything of it.
So you cannot remember ever signing this document?
No,
is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying I did not sign. My signature is there, certainly.
So you've seen this document before?
Yes, I have. I have seen it before.
Okay. Yeah. So let me just, like I said, I will not burden you with trying to calculate the number of livestock contained in this report or reported by Alaji Kasama and endorsed by you. Yes. The total number is 439.
There.
Yes. 439 live. This record is saying that 439 livestock was sold in all these three farms, but you had written to the Solicitor General to tell him that 725 were sold, and now you're saying that you made a mathematical error that in fact 724 livestock was sold. But this is saying 439. So now it's like I am at a crossroad and I don't know which of these figures I should.
I would take
I would take go with.
Yeah. I don't, like I said, I cannot recall how this record is kept, but it could not have been only this figure in this record here. Could have been more than that, but what we sold actually is what is contained in the report.
Which report?
The one that submitted to the total number compiled.
The inaccurate figure that you sent to the...
Yes.
Which you cannot also verify even.
Yes.
So it seems like we can conclude that the office of the sheriff does not know or cannot verify in any way the number of cattle it sold in January 2018. Because the figures 739, 439, 725, 724.
For some.
None of these figures is. Which one do we go with here? Which one do we say for certain this is what was sold?
I would take the 724. The 724.
Okay, why would you go with the 724? Since you cannot verify it, why would you go with that figure?
Because I cannot assume that we sold, I cannot believe that we sold fewer than that.
Can we now say that perhaps the office of the sheriff actually sold more than 724 cattle? Perhaps the office of the sheriff sold 800 cattle, 900, 1,000?
No, I cannot say that.
You cannot say that, but you are not certain of this?
Yes.
You are not certain whether 1,000 cattle were sold?
No, I don't think we sold that up to the amount. The amount contained here.
Yeah, but you are not certain. You cannot be certain, right? There's no way you can be certain of the number of cattle that was sold. Yes or no? You are not certain, are you?
I am not certain, but I want to believe what we have here.
You know, it's hard for me to sort of accept that it's the 724 that is what we should go with when we have a report saying 439,
yeah.
Right? So it's like there's even a possibility that more was sold, because you seem to be certain that it was 724, but there were days of sale that you were not present and you did not even require your staff to keep records of what was being sold. And you also stated that you sold cattle in herds, so probably you're even not sure in those herds how many was contained in each herd that you sold.
From the notes that we signed, it certainly always contained
Sorry, please continue.
I mean, from the notes, handwritten notes that we presented to the buyers, it certainly contained the number of, not only in each group, how many cattle are contained or sold to the buyer.
But when you were preparing your report, you did not go back to the buyers to say, can I see the handwritten note given to you?
Yes.
Yes, so again, like I said, you are not certain of the number of cattle that was sold. It could have been 1,000, it could have been 900, it could have been 500. You are not certain of it because you can't verify it.
I can't verify, but I stand by my own report.
Your own report that you have stated that you are not, you only relied on the memory of your bailiffs.
Yes.
At the time to prepare this report for the Solicitor General. The bailiffs could have made mistakes because you prepared this report more than a month after the sales, right?
Yes.
Even when the first sale was conducted, it was like almost 2 months after the first sale was conducted. So the figures might be distorted in your minds.
I did not prepare this report.
I'm not talking about the table, I'm talking about the report you sent to the Solicitor General.
I mean, yes, that's what I mean. I did not prepare it off memory. I relied on figures that were available to me at the time.
Okay, how did you rely on these figures? Where did you get the figures from?
The figures were on handwritten notes on various points of sale and so forth. I think this order return record prepared by Gassama, Alaji Gassama, or recorded by Alaji Gassama may have emanated from those ones. I don't know. I can't recall. It's about 7-8 years ago.
You're saying Alaji Gassama might have relied on
those
handwritten notes,
yeah,
which you also relied on.
Yes.
But Alaji Gassama somehow got 439 and you got 724.
In hindsight, I don't even know whether this is even a complete report, record of what was presented to.
Okay. Before we move on from this report, can we just talk about the buyers, for example? Did the buyers, or were the buyers required to present identification before making payments?
No, no.
So any person that came and says, let's say, number one on this record of sales recorded by Alaji Gassama, it says the first, let's go with Pamo Dundong. Number 5, Pamo Dundong lives in Kotu. 2 female cows sold for $32,000. So somebody just came and said, my name is Pamo Dundong, I live in Kotu, and then they give you $32,000. You give them 2 cows. Just like that. There was no identification required.
In ordinary sheriff sale, except for landed properties and for vehicles where transfer is required, we are not required, any buyer is not required to identify whoever it is.
Okay.
Just record the name of the buyer. If he requires a receipt, he would go to the effect payment, and then a receipt would be there. But to request him to produce identification, no.
Okay.
No. That's not the normal practice of the sheriff.
That's not the normal practice. But in this circumstance, you've already agreed that everything regarding this sale was not normal.
Yes.
So, in all the anomalies regarding this sale, verification of buyers,
I wouldn't consider that to be an abnormality, because it's the usual practice.
All right,
not
very well.
Yeah.
Let's move on. You stated that you did not advertise the sale because you don't want to notify the individuals that were taking care of these things, or even the defendant himself or the respondent in this situation.
I did not say specifically that was the reason for not advertising.
But what was the reason for not advertising?
One, it may have been because of the urgency at the time, or inadvertence to advertise it.
But you also did not want to give notice to those present on the
I said that could have prompted or give notice.
Yes, would have prompted them to maybe move the... Okay. So now I'm concerned that the sale was not advertised. However, there's quite a number of people present at this. So how did these people turn up if the sale was not advertised? How did all these buyers, so many people, from different, if you look at, take a look at the people from Banjul buying cattle from Kanilai, Serakunda, Abuko.
I don't know how the word.
How did word get around?
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Honorable Sheriff, the sheriff is tasked with selling, and therefore the sheriff is supposed to advertise this sale to get buyers. But somehow the sheriff did not advertise. The sheriff did not notify anybody. The sheriff woke up and went one day to Kanilai. Then the sheriff and his bailiffs also went to Farato, then they went to Banjolinding, and somehow there were people there. How did those people get there?
I wouldn't know, but I know maybe word may have gone round.
How would word get around in such a
wouldn't know. I was not privy to that. I have never spoken to any of the buyers before, prior. Personally, and I don't know who may have given.
Do you know any of the buyers? You can take a look at Alaji Kasama's report.
On the first page, number 4.
Number 4, first page is Alaji Jeng.
Yes.
11 cows, $176,000. You know Alaji Jeng?
I know him in
Okay, how do you know Alaji Jeng?
In Abuko.
In Abuko?
Yes.
He lives in Abuko?
If it is same Alaji Jeng.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. He deals in cattle, I know.
He deals in cattle, so he was there.
Yeah.
So can we say you contacted Alaji Jeng to tell him cattle was being sold?
No.
Okay.
No, certainly I did not.
So how did Alaji Jeng know about the sale?
I've not even seen Alaji Jeng on the ground.
You did not see Alaji Jeng on the ground?
No, I did not see
And Alaji Jeng also, the first page is dated 9th of January 2018.
Yes.
Alaji Jeng also bought 4 female cows on the 10th, that's the second day of sales.
Yes.
Alaji Jeng also bought 1 cow, 2 bulls on the 17th of January.
Yes. Like I said, I'm not sure whether it's the same Alaji Jeng, but the Alaji Jeng I know, he deals in cattle in Abuko.
Okay. All right, who else do you know that was present at the sale?
No, none of this other.
All right. So you did not advertise the sales, but there were people on the ground.
Yes.
So when you found people on the ground, they're buying, did you not ask anybody, any of the officials from the office of the sheriff, how these members of the public knew about the sales and were present there?
No, I did not.
You did not ask anybody?
I was not concerned with that. I was only concerned with people coming to buy.
I think you should be actually concerned because you did not advertise the sales,
Yes.
but somehow you have a large number of people present at these grounds. You should be concerned about how they know about the sales, because who were you expecting would be present to buy the cattle? Who were you expecting? Considering you did not advertise, you did not speak to anybody about the sales, that the sales is going to happen. So who were you expecting to be there, apart from the officers of the sheriff division? Who were you expecting to be there? In your mind, who were you expecting? Or you did not want the sale to take place, so you...
No, not that.
Okay, so who were you expecting to be there?
These usual people who are dealing in cattle and so.
How would these usual people that deal with cattle know about the sale if the sale was not advertised? How would you expect that the usual people that deal with cattle will be there?
Council, like I said before, it's and it might have been an error on advertising.
No, I agree with you, it's an error.
Yeah.
My issue here is, who were you expecting to show up in Farato? Who were you expecting to show up in Banjulinding and Kanilai to buy cattle if it was not advertised and you did not speak to anybody about the sales? Who were you expecting there, and how did you expect people to be there?
There is no other means of people turning up if you did not ordinarily, without going around, if you do not advertise.
Okay, so can we say maybe perhaps the deputy sheriff was the one that alerted members of the public to come and buy these dealers in cattle?
No, I don't want to.
Okay, so maybe the bailiffs?
I don't know. I cannot.
You don't know?
I don't want to attribute it into any individual among the.
Okay, so you don't know who notified these cattle dealers and these members of the public. You still saw these people on the grounds, but you were not concerned that there were buyers who present when you never spoke to anybody about the sale. And even who chose the date of the sales? Whose order was issued on the 3rd of January 2018? First day of sales was the 9th of January. Who decided the sales will start on the 9th?
Like I said before, when the order was issued and presented to the office,
You were not in the office, yes, but who decided when the sale would commence?
Because I think I approve of the date for the fact that what was presented to me, it is urgent that if we don't act fastly, the likelihood of most of these cattle perishing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were concerned that the cattle was going to perish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were not concerned that buyers were not notified. The public was not notified of the sale. Because how then would you expect there'll be people to buy cattle if you do not advertise or notify anybody? How are you expecting the sale to be done?
Council, like I said, it is a requirement usually sales of this nature for...
yes, it might not even... So my concern here is you chose 9th of January 2018 to say, let's go to Farato. Did the team start in Farato or Banjulinding?
I think I believe if what was reported to me, they started from Banjulinding.
Okay, so the team started in Banjulinding. Nobody was notified of the sale, but somehow there were people in Banjulinding ready to buy cattle.
Yes.
And you still don't know how these people were present on the ground. And then considering the farms were being controlled or managed by Army officials. So now my question still stands.
Yeah.
How did you expect the public to be present in Banjulinding if you never notified anybody, whether verbally, through the phone, and if not concluded that there was no advertisement? How were the members of the public aware that on the 9th of January, at the farm of the former president, cattle was going to be sold there?
Like I said before, words have gone round, but I did not advertise, and I certainly did not talk to anybody, but I did not verify who might have given what as of the seal.
So if you say what had gone round,
yes.
How would what get around?
Perhaps it might interest you in some of the sheriff's seal. Even the beneficiary of the seal would even solicit their own buyers to come on the ground, or the applicant.
But in this instance, the respondent was not aware of what is happening, right? But then the state here, as the applicant, knew that the sale was to be conducted. So can we say that the Office of the Sheriff notified the Attorney General, who was the applicant in the situation, that the sale was going to take place on the 9th of January?
Yes, we were.
You communicated that to the attorney?
Certainly we have.
Okay, that was done.
They were aware because we at the time, Mr. Jallo was involved
heavily.
Yeah.
Despite the order of the court stating that, never stating that Mr. Jallo was supposed to be.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay, so can we say that it is Mr. Jallo that notified the public? Is that what you are saying?
I'm not saying.
You're saying that you never communicated this to anybody, but the state was aware.
The state was aware.
Communicated to the state through
But
Mr. Jallo.
does not mean that I said Aliu Jallo communicated
so
it.
So now we can say, apart from the officials of the Office of the Sheriff, it is Mr. Aliu Jallo that was aware of the sales and the date in which they were going to take place.
Perhaps maybe other officials of the Ministry of Justice, as well as other members of the judiciary, may have been aware.
Who did the Office of the Sheriff specifically communicate to about the sales?
Now, when a sale is slated to take place, ordinarily is communicated to the party at whose instance the sale is proposed to be conducted for, and or in the case of a monetary judgment, the beneficiary. They must certainly be aware of the date.
All right, so let's move on to the document I had announced a while back. Honorable Chair, it is OHS 12. I believe that the Secretariat has presented the witness with a copy of this document. OHS 12. Perhaps look at the plastic the binding that he has. It might be contained in there.
Okay.
Yes, just turn to OHS 12. You've taken a look. It's an internal memo.
Yes.
Okay, and letterhead of the High Court in Brikama.
Yes.
It is dated 30th October, so November, 30th November 2023.
Yes.
Subject of the memo, it's addressed to the Judicial Secretary, and the Honorable Chief Justice is copied.
Yes.
The subject states, auction sale of cattle in the matter of Attorney General and Yahya AJJ Janneh.
Yes.
Before we get into the content of this internal memo, why did you write a memo addressed to the Judicial Secretary on the 30th of November 2023? This is almost 5 years after the sale was conducted. Why was this memo written?
This was at the request of the Judicial Secretary on the direction of the Chief Justice, that he wanted an update or report of this because at the time, I think there was an inquiry or this reporter was trying to reach information regarding this. He was referred to the office of the sheriff. Then I think the sheriff was reluctant without direction. So when it was, I think when it reaches the office of the Chief Justice, the then sheriff said he was not aware of this thing. So I was requested to write a report. Then I was already a judge. So I sent this report based on my recollection of events at the time.
Okay, so who was the Judicial Secretary at the time? November 2023.
November 2023. I don't know whether it was the then overseer of the Judicial Secretary, Lamin George, the late Lamin George. I'm not sure whether it's Abdul Conte or cannot be sure.
Okay, all right. So you wrote this memo addressed to the Judicial Secretary because there was an investigator, an investigative journalist that was trying to gather information about the sale.
Yeah.
All right, that is clear. Let's go to the second page. You've mentioned Mr. Kora here again. Mr. Amadou Kora was also present at the instance of the Ministry of Justice, who assisted to determine the values of the subject of auction. Let's also look at let's go towards the bottom of after the bank details.
Yes.
After you've listed the bank details. You've mentioned here a few correspondences, letters. You've stated, I recall during my tenure of office as master and registrar, a letter was sent to the bank to replace the signatories with current office holders of Judicial Secretary and Sheriff. So now it's clear that when the signatories changed, it was the second signatory was the Sheriff at the time.
That was, I think...
Yes, you stated that it was the Judicial Secretary, but you cannot remember who the second signatory.
Yes.
This is showing that confirming that...
as the successor in office.
Yes,
yeah.
The Sheriff was the second signatory.
Yeah.
You also mentioned you also stated a separate letter was also sent requesting for payment of sale tax due and payable to the judiciary and credit same into the Sheriff's account at Central Bank. Do you have copies of these letters?
It should have been. I did not personally keep any records of that. Letters were written not by me.
Okay. Who wrote these letters?
I think the Judicial Secretary then at the time requested that judiciary issue sales tax. That's the normal practice of any sales. I think this, in the case of movables, is 5%.
Okay, so we can say these two letters were not written, but you signed.
Yes.
It was not written by you, but signed by you.
Yes.
Okay. So, just before we conclude, you stated that you've also stated the issue of Mr. Binga calling you.
Yes.
about the bank details which you forwarded him.
Yes.
When Mr. Binger contacted you about this, didn't you question it? Why Mr. Binger would just out of the blue request for bank details? Did you not question this?
He told me specifically that the AG requested him to liaise with me to get the bank details, that's all.
So what authority did Mr. Binger have to contact you to ask you for this, especially via phone call?
Yes. Like I said, I don't think it was out of the ordinary for an applicant in this case, because I thought maybe it was not unusual for us to provide them with the bank details. Because for transparency purposes, they should need to know, because we've already submitted the account via a report, the account details was already submitted to them.
Shouldn't you have requested for a bank statement and forwarded a copy to the AG then? Why did you ask for this request to be put in writing?
Unfortunately, I did not.
You did not deem it necessary?
It was necessary, but I
okay, so why did you not request for it?
Unfortunately, I did not.
Okay, you did not, and then why didn't you just request for a bank statement? Perhaps maybe if they wanted to know the balance in the account, why did you not request for a bank statement and then the bank would print that out for you and you can give that to Mr. Binger or even submit it to the Attorney General? Why was that not done?
In hindsight, that was what should have done.
Okay, so let's take a look at the order of the High Court dated 3rd of January 2018. Let's look at paragraph 3. You can just take a look, but let me read it out for you. The Honorable Sheriff of the Gambia is ordered to conduct the sale and all the proceeds of the sale be kept by the Honorable Sheriff in an interest-bearing account pending conclusion of the Commission of Inquiry or further orders of the court. With this order, why did you provide details of that account to Mr. Binger?
At the time when I provided this information to Mr. Binger, I think the Commission of Inquiry has already concluded.
So the Commission of Inquiry had already concluded when you...
Yeah.
All right. Honorable Chair, that is all the questions I have for the witness.
Thank you, Counsel. Justice Tabally?
Yes. Chair.
We will have more questions from members as well for more clarification.
Yes.
Quickly before I give my colleagues to ask their questions, I just wanted some clarifications.
Yes.
Because I know you have agreed to some of the questions raised to you by the council.
Indeed, yeah.
Meaning some of the things that were lapses on your side and the office that you were heading as well.
Yes.
For that being the case, maybe I wouldn't go much, but I just wanted to clarify something. In the morning yesterday, you were asked about Modu Musa's involvement in the task force.
Yes.
When you have full knowledge of Modu Musa's involvement in the task force?
I did, indeed.
You did?
Indeed, yeah.
When Mr. Jalo called him and he was representing the Sheriff's office. Is that the case?
He was representing, indeed he was representing.
And before he attended that meeting, the first meeting, you were aware?
Yes, I was aware.
Okay, good. All right, because some of the things I've noted, you've agreed that those were lapses on your side, I will have to hand you over to my colleagues to also ask questions. If they have, yes, I want to start with Sirip and come back. Sirip is very.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you to Mr. TABALLY for coming over. Mr. TABALLY, just a quick one on this question with regards to the issue of advertisement.
Yes.
You mentioned that it was not right to auction without advertising.
Yes.
And then the lead counsel also asked you with regards to how were people informed. Will it be right for when I use this Mandinka proverb or Mandinka language to say what is based on Naboyo la boyo, Naboyo la boyo, when I call my friend and my also friend call a friend to say come over?
It's possible, yes.
It was based on Naboyo la boyo, Naboyo la boyo.
It's possible, yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. TABALLY, for accepting that. Mr. TABALLY, based on the list given to us, when it comes to MOJ 8, on the amount being the board is scheduled for, and also the prices given, will it be right to say some of this amount might not be realistic?
You mean the true value?
Yeah, I mean the cost of sales.
Yes.
The cost of sale. Will it be true to say they might not be realistic?
Realistic in the sense that they may not be.
From the buying point, you might pay $10, and when they are recorded, they might record lower than that.
I cannot say that because I believe what was presented to me as at the time that was the amount that was paid for each of the cattle.
Are you able to compare the amount paid and the amount recorded?
I have no means of, I was not present on that particular first day, so I could not have confirmed. Could not.
So will I be right to say there might be different in prices?
Yeah, I would agree, yeah.
You will agree on that?
Yeah.
Mr. TABALLY, based on the prices I have seen here, was there any fixed price on the cows to say this cow should cost $10 or what? Was there any fixed price?
No, like I said before, we did not, it was a lapse on our side. We did not liaise with the GILMA to do the valuation for us, and there was no valuation report to guide us.
But if you look at the cost of sales here on the other page, from number 1 to the last number,
yeah.
It's like all the amounts are the same. 12,000, 12,000, 12,000.
Which one?
It was, there is no number on that page, but it might be the third page from MOJ 8F4, yes, the third page, where you start with Kisima Tambedu.
Well, I think that is where you have the sales record, huh?
The sales record, yeah.
The record of sales.
It's MOJ 8F3, page 4.
Where you start Kisima Tambedu. How much date? 20 now. Kisima Tambedu.
Thank you.
20.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
It seems the amount here is the same amounts, 12,000. If you look at number 1 Kisima, 2 cows by 2, that's 24. The other person was Madike Jalo, 1 cow by 1, 12. And you go for that, the same amount continue repeating. Were they selling these cows based on a fixed price by saying 12,000, 12,000?
It is not based on a fixed price. It might have been what is accepted as the bidder may have paid or offered.
How were you bidding? Were you bidding based on ringing the bell to offer prices, or
We had a bell on the ground.
How did it come that all these prices are the same within the same period of time? 12, 12, 12, 12.
Like I said, we have somebody on the ground to assist us to, I am not an expert and none of our staffs were.
Oh, that's somebody.
So yeah, that Mr. Kora and Mr. Jallo himself was.
Was he an expert in this?
I don't know at the time, but I rely on the fact that he was there at the instance of the emoji. Maybe he had experience or he had expertise in cattle. That's why I said we relied on his advice.
Mr. TABALLY, during your statement with the late council, you mentioned that Musa informed you about the challenges he faced during the time they went to Isafati's premises or Isafati's area, claimed to be his or her own property.
Yes.
What did he tell you?
That they could not even access the property to serve the notices that were issued by my office.
And what was your response?
I think I discussed it with Mr. Jallo at the time to report to his superiors regarding the challenges we have, because that is a usual practice in the sheriff's office. Sometimes you go to certain places, you cannot access the place because the people were reluctant to cooperate.
Mr. TABALLY, as you mentioned that you used to buy animals from one Alaji Jeng at Abuko, and you are not sure whether he is the very Alaji they mentioned here, though I have seen different addresses from Serekunda and only from Abuko. Is it right to say that the amount still on Alaji Jeng as an example, and by contacting Alaji Jeng, the figures might be different?
Can I be clear? What do you mean?
An example is, I will close open to you. I contacted Alaji Jeng on the amount that he bought his animals for.
Like I said before.
No, I contacted Alaji Jeng, yes, on the amount he's bought these cattle for. And based on what I have seen here, the gap is far different. So this is why I'm saying that the amount that they were paying and the amount registered here, there's a big difference.
Okay, I didn't know about it.
Maybe as far as you know him, you can ask him to go further to explain to you what went on during this process. So for me, I'm saying this list is not realistic. Because number 7, a bull, costing 12,000. Number 12 of the same page, Omar Mbake, Abuko 2 bulls by 24. A small cow, 12,000.
Yes.
And you come down again, the same small cow again is costing 16,000. So Lamin Kamara. Before Lamin Kamara also bought a small cow for $3,000. So it is a calf or a small cow, because in the case of here, it's not a cow but a small cow. They bought it for $3,000. So the prices are like this.
They fluctuate, yeah.
They fluctuate, so it's like there was no fixed price. People just come and spend anyhow what money that they want to spend and have it the way they want to have it.
I agree, yes.
And then the last one I would put to you, when it comes to the herds that you mentioned, were they in? Can you tell me how many were in that herds? How many of them?
I cannot recall exactly in each specific herd how many are.
More than 10, 20?
I cannot remember. It's been almost 7-8 years ago.
But it was more than 5.
In some instances, it could be more than 5. Yeah.
Could be more than 5.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Whatever. Yes, you can go.
Thank you very much. Mr. TABALLY.
Yes.
First,
I want us to establish something. What is your interpretation of the High Court order of on the 3rd, specifically paragraph 3 to 3 and 4?
Three and 4.
3 to 3 and 4.
You mean where it says leave is granted? Huh? Leave is granted to here, sorry. Leave is hereby granted by livestock investment, livestock cease pursuant to the order of the date, order dated the 22nd of May 2017, in this matter, to be sued pursuant to the order of the Commission of Inquiry issued under the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia. Yes.
What is your understanding of that?
The court relied on the order of the Commission to issue this specific order for the sale to be conducted.
And by sales, does it include ensuring that there is an accountable and transparent process?
Yes, certainly.
And who would have taken that responsibility?
The office of the sheriff.
In this case?
Yes.
To be specific, who was heading the office of the sheriff?
It was myself.
It was yourself.
Yeah.
Then, now let's go to the report. I would just only have 3 questions for you.
Okay, thank you.
You indicated that you were not present, but you relied on a handwritten document that was given to you. So my first question is, do you still have that handwritten document on an A4 blank sheet?
No, I don't have it.
You do not?
No.
And that would have been your only source document?
Yes, because when I exited the office of the sheriff, I did not move with any document.
Was it filed?
It could have been filed.
No. Let's not answer on probabilities. Yeah. That handwritten document was the source you used to tabulate this report, not so?
Yes.
And as a judge, would you consider that as an evidence? That handwritten document, would you take it as an evidence?
Evidence it like that?
In the production of this document?
No, in the strict sense, no.
Why?
It's not evidence to prove something, but it's evidence to assist you to produce a report, that's all.
How would you prove this? How would you prove that this report is authentic now? Can you prove that this report is authentic without that handwritten document?
Unfortunately, no.
Then, will you take that handwritten document as evidence?
No.
Huh?
No.
Why?
I mean, for the purpose of evidence, it's not evidence.
Now, let's take it in correlation to this report. What would you rely upon to prove that this report is authentic?
There is no proof now before you to say that it is authentic. I agree.
I mean you, not us now. Yes. You. What would you rely upon to prove to us that this report is authentic?
I don't understand.
You said you generated this report from the handwritten document that was given to you.
Yes.
Not so?
Yes.
By your bailiffs.
Yes.
Not so?
Yes.
Then that handwritten document is the source to the production of this report. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Yes. So now, my question to you is, if you are to prove the authenticity of this report, what are you going to rely on?
I have nothing now to rely on.
But would it be correct to say that that handwritten document is the only source you can rely upon?
Yeah, that's certainly. Yes.
Did you file it?
I cannot be sure whether it's in file, but it must have been available at the office at the time.
In a normal situation, would you have filed that source document?
Yes, it would have been filed.
Why did you fail to file this one?
I did not say it was not filed. I referred to, I alluded to the poor record keeping at this stage.
No, the issue is, we cannot work on probabilities.
Yes.
We are maintaining an office. In an office, you must have rules of what? Procedure. It is either filed or not. So I'll take it again. Is the handwritten document filed? Was it filed?
Could have been filed, but it's not available anymore.
Was the handwritten document filed? If you say could have been filed, but it's not available anymore, that would insinuate somebody tampered with it. Am I right?
Yes. It's supposed to have been on our records. I don't know where the whereabouts now, because even going through the file, I myself, when I went to look for document on this, the commissioner request to the committee's request to produce document, I went there. Those things, they were not there.
Finally on that, because we have more important issues. That handwritten document, do you agree that it is imperative to the correctness of this particular report?
I agree. It is.
And in the absence of that handwritten document, can you rely on this report again yourself? Can you rely on it?
No.
You can't rely on it?
No.
Hmm?
No.
So,
Yeah.
can we rely on this report that you provide us? If at all,
In the absence of the handwritten note, no.
we cannot. Now let's prove that we cannot rely on this. Did you verify this report when you receive it? What I mean by verification is, did you look at the arithmetical accuracy of the report that was given to you when you receive it?
Before signing, I must have gone through it. That's why I signed.
Mr. Tabali?
Yes, I did, yes.
You did?
Yes.
Please, Chair will urge you to tell Mr. Sabali, let's not speak on probabilities. He either knows it or he doesn't.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Let's just respond to the question slightly.
I will take that again. Did you really go through the arithmetical accuracy of this document before signing it?
I did not.
You did not?
Yeah.
You did not go through it?
Yeah.
Is that the right thing?
No. Sorry.
Why didn't you go through it?
I relied on what is recorded by the bailiffs.
Before moving,
Yes.
I would ask a question with regards to your response. Your response, was it a deliberate one to my question or in anticipation of future questions that might come?
No. It's not deliberate. I did not even foresee.
Is it the genuine, that's a genuine response, right? You didn't go through the report. They just brought it to you, you signed.
As far as the figures are concerned to tabulate it, no.
You did not do that.
Yeah.
The other question is, was there any means of sourcing the trust bank account that was open for the sales and disposals of the assets, which is different from the proceeds you have from the sales of the cattle?
There is only one account that we opened for the purpose.
And the only source to that account was the money generated from the sales
That's
of
the
the
only
cattle?
source. That's the only source. We don't have any other source.
Perfect. Then, Mr. Tabale, let's look at your lodgements. Do you have MOJ 8F3 with you? 8F3.
Secretary, can you help?
That is the list of the sales of cattle from the 9th to the 30th of January.
Yes.
On the 9th. Yes. You can give him the list and as well as the Trust bank statement. If you can open both of them for him simultaneously, that will help. The Trust bank statement. Yes.
Is there?
The two of them.
Yes.
You have it. The statement is MOJ 8F3. No, the statement should be attached. If you want, come, let me give you this. Give it to him. I think I have it.
I think it's the,
No, I have.
or the fourth page of MOJ 8F3.
I have it in front. Yeah.
So it's the attachment. You just open the attachment for the witness. Thank you.
Mr. Tabale, you started the sales on the 9th.
Yes.
And on the 9th, based on your records, the total proceeds was 978,000. On the 10th, you sold 2,990,000. And the first day of banking at that bank account was on the 12th. So if you add, which means on the 12th, the total sales from the 9th and the 10th should have been banked on the 12th, right?
Yes.
If you look at the 12th, your total lodgment on the 12th was 1,024,000. You can look at the statement. That was the lodgment by CD Fati. Are you seeing it? On the 12th. CD Fati.
Yeah.
CD Fati banked 1,024,000, whereas the cumulative or the sum of the sales of the 9th and the 10th is 3,968,000. Which means as at the 12th, you were having cash in hand of 2,944,000. That was not banked. Why?
I don't know what accounted for specifically for the full amount not lodged on the same day, but the subsequent date.
Maybe I can remind you. You said you have an iron briefcase that you inherited in your office. That's what you said. That's what was your
I
response.
found it in the office.
You found it there.
Yes.
So now the question is, why was it that all the funds in that iron briefcase were not lodged?
Like, I was not the one, I only gave instructions for the money to be deposited in the account. So the officer in charge who should have lodged them on the same day. I don't know why he
In
did.
whose custody was the iron briefcase?
It was in the office at the time.
In whose custody, Mr. Tabali?
I think Sister City Fati and the people who were lodging the amounts into the bank account.
Mr. Tabali, initially, in your interpretation of the provisions of the High Court order,
Yeah.
you indicated that it was your responsibility.
Yes.
Not so?
Yes.
So in whose custody? You shouldn't think, you should be sure. In whose custody was the iron briefcase?
It was a long time. I cannot remember exactly at this specific period who had custody, but at various times the monies were there. They kept there, they were stored there and then taken to the
What was the location of the iron briefcase? Which office was it?
in the office of the sheriff.
Who was the sheriff?
I was the sheriff.
Then would it be right to say the iron briefcase was in your custody? You don't remember where it was, but you know it was in
It
the
was
office.
in the office. I never had personal distinct with that particular briefcase because I never handled cash in person.
No, we are not putting any responsibility to you. You just want to know the truth.
Yes.
We want to know.
Since I would admit that it is in my office, then I am the custodian of the briefcase.
So now the question is, why were you leaving substantial amounts of cash with you and not banking them?
It is not as if I personally handled that particular cash on that day. We gave instruction for them to be lodged. That's why we opened an account. It was not, I was not assigned to, or I assigned somebody to do the lodging.
Did it ever come to your attention that substantial amounts of cash were held in the office during the period of the sales of these assets? Did it ever come to your notice?
Yes, I had notice of it.
What did you do?
That's why that prompted us to open the bank account
What
immediately. During this phase.
what did you do? Who were in custody of those money? We need the names of those individuals who were handling, because since it came to your notice, you must have remembered who and who were responsible.
It has reflected in the statements, the people who had done the lodging.
Can you give us their names?
Mr. Sidifati Musa Modu Musa Sisi.
Modu Musa Sise.
Yeah.
Let's proceed to on the Chair, I will fast track. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll be done. Let's proceed to the 10th. On the 10th now, you should have been having the balance of 2,944,000 plus, sorry, your next lodgment was done on the 13th.
Yes.
So on the 13th, you should have the balance of only 2,944,000. Not so, because there were no sales on the 13th. You made sales on the 9th, 10th, 17th, 23rd, and 30th. But look at how much you lodged on the 13th. You lodged 3.1 million. 156,000 in excess of what you were supposed to have. How did that happen?
I do not know how this came about. I cannot.
Initially, you maintained 2.9 million that belonged to the state. It wasn't banked. The next day, you banked more than what you were supposed to bank.
I don't know what accounted for the difference because I was not the one who handled the cash. Definitely, I cannot tell.
You cannot tell how this happened.
Yes.
Why didn't you look at the arithmetical accuracy of this? Because as the sheriff, would it be right to say that it was your responsibility to ensure that the sales report correlates to the lodgements in the account? Would it be right to say it was a responsibility?
Yes. Yes.
Did you do that?
No, I did not.
Why?
I admit it is a lot of lapses on my part.
No, you would not take them as lapses. You want to understand why. Because you know that first what you need to do is to ensure that there is accountability. Now what we are seeing is excess funds are great. Is it excess funds? Was it deliberate, or there is something more to it?
I don't know. I would not say there is something deliberate to it.
Yeah, there is something more to it. Because if you look at your bank statement, the total lodgements in your bank statement as stated by council is 8,302,000. If you look at the total sales record you provided to this committee is only 6,372,000.
Like I said before in answer to one of our questions, I'm not sure whether this reflects the complete records of what was initially.
Chair, then my final submission to the committee will be, let us task Mr. TABALLY to go and bring us the right records. We cannot rely on this.
I'm not saying it's not right. I'm only saying whether it's complete records.
Mr. TABALLY, yes. You were the sheriff.
Yes.
If it is incomplete, it's your responsibility to find the missing pieces. And you had over 5, 6, 7 years to do that since 2018. You said you never look at the arithmetical accuracy of this report. You said you never reconcile this report against the lodgements in the bank account. You asked me, I would say that was a deliberate act because you know that what was in this report does not correlate to the bank statement. Do you want to take me on that? Because that is the fact.
I wouldn't say it's a deliberate act on my part. I would say it's an error or an advertence on our part, in my part.
Mr. TABALLY, these are monies that belong to the state. And Chair, just my last intervention. Go back to the sales records. Let's look at this. Look at the 9th of January 2018. The first page. The customer you have there is Janneh, right?
Yes.
Can you read the description for us? How many bulls?
73.
73 bulls. Can you read the quantity for us? How many bulls?
Sorry,
Can you use the mic, please? The description is how many bulls?
Quantity is 23.
23. Does that tally? Description, sales of 73 bulls. Quantity, sales of 23 bulls. Now, when you take both, if at all you were selling 73 bulls to Chorno and you received 320,000, which means you are selling each bull to Chorno at $4,383. Each bull. We are not talking about a calf. We are not talking about what is sick. If we take the other narrative and base it on the quantity and say you sold 23 bulls to Chorno and you received 320,000, which means you sold each bull to Chorno at $13,913. But you know what is the interesting part? If we choose the 23 and do the arithmetics down, the only bull that will be missing will be 1. But if we take the 73 and do the arithmetics down, you will have a surplus of 23 bulls. Now, which is which, Mr. TABALLY? Which one do we take? Do you take the 73 or the 23?
I did not avert my mind to these descriptions here before.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I did not avert my mind to
No,
the description because for me, I am even confused how these two figures came about.
Yeah, but the question is now, which one do we take? Do you take the 73 or do you take the 23? Because both of them can be right. Why am I saying that? If you look at on the 30th and you look at Babu Karinjai, you sold him 8 cows at 31,000, which means you are selling each cow at 3,875.
This report, maybe the description might not be accurate. I now agree because the description, I don't know whether it tallies with.
No, Mr. TABALLY,
Yes.
the description tallies with the quantity. We've gone through the descriptions and we've gone through the quantities. The only place the description and the quantity doesn't tally is with Chorno Jala. And there we need an answer. Do we take the 73 or do we take the 23?
I cannot choose for you which one you want to believe, but
No, not believe. We don't want to believe. We want the facts. Which one is accurate?
maybe to 23.
Due to time, I would stop here, but it is my submission that we text Mr. TABALLY to go and bring an accurate report for us. This is not only incomplete, but it's misleading. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. We'll put that order later before we close. Janneh?
Yes. Thank you very much, Chair. Mr. TABALLY,
Yes.
thank you for coming, even though we are not getting much from your end in terms of what we want. I think all that we are seeing here is a conspiracy in between you and Mr. Jallo as the then Acting Registrar General. My first question would be, I would read certain names to you, specific names, and ask if you really know them, and also their attribution to certain businesses. Let's look at Peace Trading on the sales record. Peace Trading. It should be in MOJ 8F 3.
Which page?
And it should be on the first page of the records of sales. Cherno Jallo address Banjul.
Yes.
That's 73 and 23.
Yes.
Yes. What do you know about Cherno Jallo, and which business is he associated to as much as the Ministry of Justice is concerned?
I don't even know Cherno Jallo.
You don't know Cherno
I
Jallo?
don't even know him.
Do you know any business enterprise called AMC?
No.
Okay. I will task you to go to the office of the Registrar General to find out on whose name is AMC registered under. You can take notes, sir.
AMC.
AMC, yes.
AMC is a company.
AMC is a company registered at Ministry of Justice,
Yes,
the office that Aliu Jallo used to occupy.
yes.
That is, okay, Charno Jallo is on AMC, but on Peace Trading,
Yes.
do you know the business owners of Peace Trading?
I don't even know Peace Trading or the
But it's on your records, right? That you submitted to us.
Peace Record.
Yes, on the records of sales. Go to the records of sales.
Yes.
You will find Peace Trading.
As a company.
Well, I would say as a company, yes. That's
Apologies, Honorable Janneh. That document was submitted by the Ministry of Justice.
yes.
The record
okay.
of sales, yes.
Okay. It's submitted by
It's-
Ministry of
it's
Justice.
endorsed by
however, he signed, however,
Yes.
and he also
Endorsed
also
it
worked
as
under
well.
the same ministry.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, it's all the same. Since he is here before us, huh? Yes, I would also want you to go and find out on whose name or names is Peace Trading registered under.
How do you spell Peace Trading?
PEACE TRADING. It's on the list that is before you.
Because Peace Trading is not on the page here, that's why I'm saying.
On the records of sales?
I do not see any Peace Trading here.
Yeah, Wallumawa. MOJ, look at MOJ.
What's this
Eight.
one?
Council, guide us on Peace Trading. Which page can he find it?
We only have
It's from the
individual.
record of sales.
Yeah,
MOJ 8F3, the attachment. It's 5 pages, so each page carries a different date, so I think it's the last page, should be in 30th January.
yeah, it's here, yeah.
Yes, yes, I've seen that.
You have seen it?
Yeah.
Good. We would want to know on whose name or names is Peace Trading registered under.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Moving forward, Mr. TABALLY. Justice TABALLY, I understand that a report was generated from your office which was 26th March regarding the sales, right? Why is it that in April 2018, after March, when you submitted your report, you made a deposit on the said account regarding sales? You can look at SBT 6. SBT 6, I think you should have 2 records in April, 12 and 11, April 2018. SBT 6. Jao, can you help him out, please? That is the Trust Bank Statement of Accounts. SBT 6, second page.
So let me see. Okay, SBT 6.
Yeah, SBT 6.
No,
That is Statement of Accounts
it's here.
on the second page. The last entries, that is the last two entries.
Yes.
One is on 12th April and the second is on 11th April.
Yeah, the one you have not very clear.
Mine is not that clear, but it's recognizable. We got it from them, so. Can you provide him with a clear SBT6, the second page, the last two deposits on April?
Yes, please. I'll just give my copy.
Do you find it?
Yes, I've seen.
Yes. Can you contrast that to your report dated 26 March 2018? What I am trying to say here is, or ask is, your last report was submitted the 26th of March 2018 with regards to the sales. And in April 2018, you made two other deposits after when you submitted your report. How is that like? How is that possible, if I may ask?
I'll have to verify because I don't know how this came about. But as at the time when I was presenting this report, this was the amount available.
Okay, before we allow you to go and verify, can you also verify with me?
Yes.
Is it a good practice to submit a report and after the report you go and make a deposit in connection to that report?
It's very, very unusual.
It's very, very unusual.
Yeah.
So meaning that conduct wasn't right.
I don't know, but it's not right.
It's not right.
It's not right. Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Tabal, in this account, that is the trust bank account that you used to be a signatory.
Yes.
Have you ever signed for withdrawals?
No.
Whilst you were a signatory?
I have never signed any withdrawal from that account.
Were you aware of any withdrawals whilst you were a signatory?
The only withdrawal that would have been made there would be the request for the payment of the sales tax due to judiciary.
How much was this amount?
I cannot remember the amount now.
Can you serve, I will apply through the chairperson for you to serve this committee with the said withdrawal slip and the actual amount
it was not a necessarily withdrawal. It is I think in a form of a letter, an instruction to the bank to transfer to the sheriff designated account for this amount to be deducted from this amount account to be paid directly to central bank, the sheriff's account.
Was that letter submitted as an evidence in request of that withdrawals?
No, it didn't.
Can you provide us with that letter?
It's not with me, but I'll go to the administration.
No, it don't have to be with you. All that we are interested is for you to provide us what we need.
Okay.
So I want to apply that you provide us with this withdrawal communication to this committee latest Monday by 2 p.m. And we will do it in writing as well through the chairperson.
Okay.
Mr. Tabari, what is your, aside your professional relationship, what is your relationship with Ali Jallo, the former acting registrar general? Outside office work, what is your relationship with him?
Mr. Jallo, my wife is named after his mother, but they are not related in any way. I think my wife's elder sister is brought up by Ali Jallo's mother.
So that is to say you have a family relationship with Ali Jallo.
Yes.
Then there could be this possibility that you could also conspire with Ali Jallo to perform certain duties that are outside Ali's responsibility.
No, I would not accept that I did conspire in this case. I did not, certainly. I did.
Then why would you accept a telephone conversation from Ali authorizing you or you authorizing him to act on the sales whilst you were away, when you have an assistant in the office?
I merely told him that let him, he was already in the office.
Sorry, Mr. Tabali. I wouldn't expect it to be like I would expect it to be you authorized, you gave him the authority
not
to act on your behalf.
No,
No, let's not argue. Let's allow me to learn. The conversation you had with Ali Jallo was for him to act, yes or no?
Not for Ali to act.
But for the team to act?
Yes.
But you gave that instruction through Ali?
Not through Ali.
Then what instruction do you give Ali?
I don't have any authority to give instruction to Ali. All I said, you are in the office, presented that they would do the needful to carry out the proposed sale, that's all. But I did not give him instructions. I cannot give Ali instructions. He's not under my...
Mr. Tabali, you also mentioned yesterday and also repeatedly today that some of the buyers directly made deposit to the bank and were given a payment slip that was brought to your office for a final receipt. Was that the case?
No, I did not say that in this case. I'm saying generally.
Generally?
Generally, in a normal sheriff sale, apart from this particular one, where the buyer would be, the successful bidder would be asked to go and make a payment to the bank account. Not in this case. It has not happened in this case.
So in this case, it has not happened?
Because of the proximity from to the bank from where we are.
Were you outside the Gambia when we were conducting the sales?
No, no. I'm saying within outside Banjul.
Outside Banjul. Is it that Trust Bank don't have other branches outside Banjul?
In Kanilai specifically, I don't know of any at the time.
In normal circumstances, should that be the case, to have monies paid directly to your staffs instead of making payments to the bank and also generate a payment slip?
I said yesterday here that that's the usual practice, in where the bulk payment are made by the purchaser himself directly to the bank account, or it can be led by an accountant or staff of the judiciary to central bank. That is in the case of a normal sheriff sale. Well, in this case, we did not do that. That was not possible because these are interest-bearing account, only a specific designated account at Trust Bank.
Yeah, I know you have a specific designated account at Trust Bank, but my question is this a normal practice for your office?
It used to be a practice, but it has been there has been a directive to that effect that no cash payment directly should be made. But sheriff staffs are not restrained from receiving payment and lodging into a bank account.
Mr. Tabali, you said there was a directive
Yes.
that such payments should have been done to the account,
yes.
to the bank account by the buyers.
Yeah.
And why do you defy on this particular directive?
No, what I mean is generally the sheriff's office used to have receipts books. These are manual receipts books. So we have been directed to desist from using that henceforth. So the buyers are therefore from that either the buyer or through an officer of the sheriff's office would pay effect the payment into the designated central bank account and then produce the deposit slip to the accountant to generate an IFMIS receipt therefrom on verification.
Okay, now we're getting there. In these situations, the buyers have not done any deposit.
No.
Instead, it were the sheriff
Who made the deposit?
who made the deposits.
Yes.
And they generated a deposit slip, right?
Yes.
Do you have in custody those deposit slips at the sheriff's department as we speak?
I do not think we have any of those at the moment, but certainly if you make a deposit, you will be given a deposit slip.
Okay, Mr. Tabali, through the chairperson, I also want to apply that you provide us with all the deposit slips that were made by the staff of the sheriff division. I made an application. Okay. Yes, I'm done. And by Monday, we want to have these slips before 4 p.m., before closing hours. I can proceed? I still have questions. Yes. Mr. Tabali, do you have a full list of the buyers of Janneh's livestock?
I don't have a full list of the buyers. We started, at some point we could not continue, I remember.
Why is it that you couldn't continue with the list of every other buyer of the livestock?
There were challenges.
Tell us the challenges. We want to know.
Because at the end, like I said, at some point the place was chaotic, and I think even at some point we even ran out of stationaries to continue writing those names.
Mr. TABALLY, if I should apply that you provide us with the full list of the buyers, will you be in a position to provide a full list of the buyers? Because we want to know, and we should know.
I would have loved to provide it, but I don't have it in my custody.
You don't have it in your custody. So meaning even if I should apply that you provide the full list, you wouldn't be in a position to provide it?
No, definitely I will not.
Mr. TABALLY, or Justice TABALLY rather, sorry for addressing you as Mr. TABALLY, Justice TABALLY.
It's okay, it's okay.
No, you know.
It's okay.
Now, because that will take me to a question one of my colleagues asked in terms of the quantity of livestock or cattle that you sold. On the summary that you gave us, reflects that is 725 cattle that you sold. Right. But again, if you do a head count on the quantity of cattle that you sold from the lead counsel, that she shared with you was 439. I did my own counting, I got 438. Can you tell this committee where the outstanding cattle should be, like the 280 something cattle, the missing cattle, where should they be?
Like I told her in my response to her questions, I will stand by the 724 that I have here. This may not represent the whole complete list of records that we as ordinarily produce at the time. I don't know how the discrepancy came about from the records here. But I stand by what I presented as 724 here.
Yes, when we counted, it's 724.
Yes.
But in terms of documentation, it's 725.
Yeah,
however, no, just listen to me. However, on the evidence as well that you tendered or you produced for us, that is the sales of record. If you go to MOJ 8F3, you do a head count of the quantity of cattle that were sold by the sheriff. You will conclude that the head of cattle that were sold was 439 heads of cattle or 438 heads of cattle.
Yes.
Against the 724. My question is, where should the rest of the outstanding cattle be? Because we need to account for the outstanding.
You mean as per the records here, or the cattle itself?
You know, both, yes. The records from your office, as per the sales of cattle on MOJ 8F3. You know, you gave a list of cattle that you sold against names. For example, to Abubakar Korta,
Yes.
Tandedu, Kisima Tandedu, you name it, Peace Trading, Chernojalo, you name it. If you count the quantity that even the council asked you about, it is confirmed on the list you provided to this committee when we did the head counting, because I think when we were doing this submission, you thought we might be very lazy to actually do the necessary verification. That's the way I assume it. Because
I did not assume that.
then, okay, then it was deliberate?
No, it was not deliberate.
Then, Justice TABALLY, how can you sign against documents? Or how can you report to this National Assembly on figures that don't exist? Is that not a contempt? If I may ask. Is that not a contempt?
I did not sign this here.
Is that not a contempt for giving information to the National Assembly that is not accurate? That is misleading.
I don't know how that is misleading, because what I presented...
Let me help you. You don't know how it is misleading.
Yes.
The way it is misleading is, one, in your report, you reported 725 cattle.
Yes.
In our probing, we realized it was never 725 cattle, but instead 724 cattle. We are able to establish that the figures you gave weren't accurate. Let's pass that now and move on. The sales record that you submitted to this committee, you look
I
at
did not submit this.
it's from the Ministry of Justice.
Yes.
Now, what the Ministry of Justice or the Commission submitted to us, if you look at the quantity of cattle sold, you do a head count, you will realize that it is 439 heads of cattle.
Honorable members, can I interject? It's less than 30 minutes to Juma prayers. At this juncture, I think it will only be right for us, proper for us to break, go for Juma and lunch, and then continue, because there are two other members who have questions.
Okay, I still have very pending relevant questions that I can wait until after Juma.
Very well, thank you. Council?
But can you provide us with an answer with that right?
Can we begin the session from that? When we come here, he provides. At this point now, because we need to have some preparations for Juma. You have to go and pay ablution, visit the toilet, and distance here to the mosque.
I was thinking this is another Juma.
No, they cannot. Council, so we would have a break
Yes, Honorable Chair.
and come back after Juma prayers to have the remaining.
Continue, yes.
Yes, continue.
Thank you.
Thank you. So meeting adjourned on 3 o'clock or 3:30. 3:30. Okay, 3:30. 3:30. Lunch. Let's make it 3:30. Okay, now at 3 o'clock. All right, okay, 3 o'clock. Majority of the members said 3. Okay, 3 o'clock. We come back at 3.